Want to run a game where your players are fighting against an exotic wilderness? Want to actually run a T-Rex as an apex predator? Have your players rightfully fear it? Well, stick to the end of this video. I'll give you the 4 tips to running an apex predator. Welcome back, storytellers. My name is Cleo Robeson, a seasoned dungeon master here to help you pursue your fantasy. And in today's video, I'm going to be helping you guys run an apex predator for your players to fight against and have them seriously fear this monster with all of their bones. And I've personally been running an apex predator. I've been using a corpse flower for my apex predator, and so far it's been working amazingly. And I've recently had my players fight against a baby version of this creature, which is its current stat block, and I'll just wind up changing and making it much more stronger later on. But I've had my players fight against this, and they have been so terrified of fighting the bigger version of this, and I am so ready to throw at them. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Tip number 1 is to show evidence of this creature. So, the purpose of this is to either show your players footprints of this creature's droppings, or even carcasses that it has left over from its kills. And the reasoning you want to do this is you want to slowly increment into your players that this equals this big bad monster that they hear stories about from either the locals or various different tribes saying, yo, this thing is bad, mamma jam. We don't mess with this at all. And you're just slowly just adding that into their brain, so you're just priming them for, yeah, this is bad. We're going to learn to give a wide berth to this. Or they can just stumble randomly through it, and the idea is just instituting what this creature is in their minds. Tip number 2, show its shadow. So what do I mean by this? Have your players see this creature from a distance or in some way that they do not necessarily have to be affected on it doing its work. For example, using my corpse flower that I did on my players were going to help out this goblin town that they made allies with. And right outside this goblin town, there was literally a battle taking place between Myconid with their Quaggoth spore servants and some Quaggoths. And they were just duking it out, and had my players have to make a skill challenge in order to get all the way through without getting decimated by these two battling factions, laser guns shooting everywhere, and it was really cool. But what happened was, as soon as they got into safety, the goblins basically said, get down, because they all heard the sound. I've been giving them up, foreshadowing to them that this is the sound of this creature coming. And as they're all hiding behind the wall in this town, all they hear is the absolute decimation of this army and the silence. And the eerie silence of the fact that this creature single-handedly took them all down. And then they had a small eerie scene where the creature basically was reaching over, and they had to choose how they're going to try to thwart it away without giving up their position, and they just wound up throwing a goblin out, and it just quickly killed it and destroyed it. But showing its shadow and showing your players this creature is powerful enough to take on something that you personally could never have a chance of taking on, and this is how powerful it is, will instill into your players that, yeah, maybe we don't want to fight this thing. Maybe we want to wait till we're like level 13 or so on. And that's what you want to instill your players, that this creature is powerful. And you have to instill it by showing its shadow and by showing it doing things that your players could never hope to do on their own. Tip number 3, don't let your players fight it. Now, I know that might be a little confusing, like, clearly, the point of the apex predator is for my players to fight it and feel accomplished. Yes, but the purpose of us doing this tip is that we need to first get your players close enough to this creature and then have them have the fear that they still have and not be able to deal with it and run away. So, for instance, if your players meet this creature and stumble upon it because they were being reckless and just saw its tracks but just kept going anyways, have this creature rise up and show its full might, smash a couple of times in order to show, yeah, I mean business, and then give them a skill challenge or a chase scene. I personally prefer skill challenge. Give them a skill challenge of running away from this creature and having it shadow some of its moves and showing them this is what it can do. This is how powerful this creature is. Either it's leveling an entire forest, throwing zombies all the way at these players as they're trying to attack them before they can escape the hidden mountain. Whatever it is, have your players have a skill challenge to run away from this creature, maybe 2 to 3 times. Do this. That way your players are getting that, yeah, this is way too much. This is way too much. And from there, after you've done this, a couple of these chase scenes and it trying to chase them away from whatever, give them a little bit of a break, because now we're going to get into the epic proportions. And finally, tip number 4, make the battle meaningful. Now, when you finally decide to let your players battle this creature, make sure that the battle isn't just a throwing of a battle, and make it an actual meaningful fight. Like, either have this creature be blocking an area of importance that your players need to go to, or have this creature hold a key to an area that these players need to go to, or whatever it is, have this creature means something, whether or not it's blocking off a passage to a gold mine that your players have heard about, your players have seen, your players want because they need those resurrection gold diamonds. Whatever it is, have this creature have some sort of meaning behind its defense and why they want to kill it. That way your players aren't just saying, yeah, we're just going to skirt it every single time, and at some point they're going to have to get over their fear and confront this creature, and when they do, the battle is going to have more meaning because it's like, look, these are the stakes. If we lose this fight, we most likely are not coming back here at all, and this party member that we need to resurrect will not be resurrected. So we need to kill this creature. We need to fight. So whatever it is, make sure that the battle that they finally have with this creature has some meaning, whether or not they're getting into a certain area, they're trying to bring someone back to life, whatever it is, have them have some sort of meaning to this battle. That way the stakes are high and the players know that they cannot lose by any means necessary. All in all, Apex Predators, so far in my experience, are so super cool to throw at your players. They're a nice little piece of pizzazz that you can throw at your players at very low level, and as they're going throughout the campaign and they finally take down this creature, it feels just like this huge weight of accomplishment from them, being able to take down this beast that they once were so afraid of, so cowering of, that now it is bent down to them and it serves them in its carcass. And just giving that ability for your players to enjoy being able to take down a monster that they've had been building up for so long, that is one of the best things you could probably give your players story-wise, and also it's one of the most rewarding things I personally believe as a GM or DM, as being able to give this epicness to your players and say, yes, you have leveled up, you have gotten here, your choices have got you to this power level, to this crux in the road, to be able to take down such a powerful adversary. So that's just my personal opinion on the Apex Predator. But if you'd like to support this channel, please sneak attack that like button. It really, really helps me. And please comment down below what creature you would use for an Apex Predator, or if you would ever even use an Apex Predator. Nonetheless, share this video if you think it's been helpful and it's been very informational for you. And other than that, subscribe as I post new content every week just for you guys, even though I've been kind of lying and haven't posted in 3 weeks. But I post new content every week just for you guys, helping you storytellers better craft your stories. And I'm soon going to be delving into the player side of storytelling and how to be a great player. I don't want to say that because that's someone else's channel, but basically how to become a good player and enjoy playing and really just enjoy making a character and basically enjoying the aspect of storytelling where you are the deciding factor and you're moving things along, you're making things interesting for your DM. So, without further ado, I hope you have a fantastic day, and in a world without fantasy, sometimes we need a little Dungeons and Dragons.